So, welcome to the pod. This is the tin can in which I've been traveling for the last, I don't know how many days. It's been a while. We haven't really been traveling on very regular time frames, but anyway, first of all, I'd like to apologize. We're doing this on the move. It's kind of bumpy in here because we're driving fast over to Stoup. We're just trying to get to the South Pole today, and we're gonna try to move on towards the Leverett Glacier as well. I have no idea whether it's afternoon or morning or evening or the middle of the night, but I do know that we're making pretty good progress in the face of an 8-day delay. Doug and I got to know each other about 4.5 years ago. First time, I think. Yeah. I had done an Antarctic expedition with Robert Swan, who was the first person to walk to both poles, and through him I met Doug because I told Rob that I wanted to walk to the North Pole, and we started to talk about this idea, and at the time I would have been the youngest to do it, and I think he really liked the message. He's very involved in a lot of climate change initiatives. He works with Climate Reality and former Vice President Gore and a lot of different Arctic and Antarctic related climate initiatives. And so I think we aligned on in a number of ways, and that's how we initially decided to start to work together. And then we did our first North Pole together and didn't quite make it. We got to within 15 miles of the pole, and I think both of us really wanted to come back and continue to try to contribute to a better scientific understanding of our climate system. And so we together built a little sort of the beginnings of a science program, and we went back and did it and completed the expedition the next year. That was our second North Pole. And we did a third North Pole expedition in 2012, continuing to do some more science work and continuing the climate change message. And we've just every year developed a stronger and stronger friendship, and we work really well together as a team. And I think the reason that we continue to do expeditions together is because we know each other very well. We know each other's patterns. There isn't a learning curve anymore in terms of getting to know each other. Obviously there's a learning curve with each expedition, but we don't need to take time to get to know how we operate, and that's a really critical thing when we're trying to move fast like we are on this expedition. And I think that just the alignment of our views and the fact that we both are sort of aiming for the same thing is really critical in the successful relationship that we have on the ice and our friendship, and I think that it makes for a great team. You know, I think a lot of the stories that I can remember from the past expeditions, and I remember most of everything that's happened, but these stories are sort of moments of either danger or I guess joy in the midst of not the happiest of situations, and I think that they're really composed of these individual moments, and that's what builds our strong friendship. And some of these, you know, one time we were trying to cross this open water lead. This is a big section of open water in the Arctic Ocean, and we had this lightweight kayak, and he was going across. I held the rope from the other side, and I accidentally stepped into the water because there was a layer of snow over the water that looked like ice, and I fell straight through. And there was this sort of slight moment of panic because he couldn't really do much to help. He was just in this, you know, plastic boat in the middle of maybe 10 meters away, and that's something that we talked about for the rest of the expedition, just as kind of a funny story or close call, you know. Now, it's really hard to tell what's gonna happen on the unsupported leg. of the journey. I think right now we're still only halfway through the first part. We still have half of our, samples that we have left to collect, and it's important that we focus on that. But Doug and I both train very hard for really what the hard part is, which is the unsupported speed record attempt. And we're going to do our best. I think that we work very well as a team, and so we're going to get started right away, and we're going to work very hard, and we're going to be maybe getting 6 hours of sleep a night, and probably doing 14-hour days. But and we both know, we're both entering this knowing that it's going to be insanely hard work. We've both been through a lot together, and I think that we're able to really keep going really when anything is thrown in our faces. And I think we've experienced a lot of terrible conditions in the past. I'm not going to say it's the worst we'll ever encounter, because that's just a stupid thing to say, because I know that'll lead us to worse things. But I think it's going to really depend on what we're willing to do when we get up in the morning. What is our mindset when we get out of our tent? Because it's not so much about how fast we go, it's more about making sure that we know ourselves, know each other, look out for each other, not take any stupid risks, and how long we can go each day, and how long we can go each day in the knowledge that we're going to have to do the same the next day and the next day and the next day, and for the next 3 weeks. So I really don't know what's going to happen, but I'm looking forward to it.